Hello friends, if this is the first video that you are watching by me, I hope it's not. My name is Dahlia. I'm a backyard chicken educator, also known as the president of Chickenlandia. I'm making this video today because unfortunately I made a mistake in my last video that I posted. And because I am an educator, it's really important for me to get the right information out there, so I needed to clarify some things. I do want you to know that I don't normally look like this, okay? I am on vacation with my family right now. I'm actually at a water park, so I've been at the water park all day. But I just felt like it was really important for me to get this out as soon as possible, so that's why I'm doing this. So the last video I posted was about Bumblefoot, and for those of you that don't know, Bumblefoot is usually an infection, and it can happen in chickens, it can happen in ducks, it can happen with other poultry, it can happen in guinea pigs. So in the video, I'm obviously talking about when it happens with chickens, and I talk about treating it with chickens, but you can probably use the information in the video for other poultry as well. Bumblefoot can be caused by a staph infection, I do talk about in the video, but it can also be caused by other bacteria or other conditions. In this last video, I talk about what, when it happened in my flock. I talk about how you can treat it without surgery, and I really stand by that part of the video. I think there's lots of good information there. But there is a part of the video where I talk about Bumblefoot being contagious, and that's what I want to address today and clear some things up. So if you look at all the major sources out there, the consensus is that Bumblefoot is not contagious. At least from what I've seen, the consensus is that it is not contagious. And in the video that I posted, I say that Bumblefoot is contagious. So what I would have done differently if I had been more mindful when I was making that video is I would have talked about what the consensus was among the experts, among most of the experts, and then I would have talked about what I think about that instead of presenting it as fact that Bumblefoot is contagious. I also would have said, I think I did say this in the video, but I would have said it in the part where I'm talking about it being contagious, that I'm not a veterinarian and I am not a scientist. I'm not a biologist, okay? I am a backyard chicken educator. I am an enthusiast. And so I need to be careful about the information that I put out there. And I cannot say enough how important it is to me that I get the right information out there. So when the video went out and I got some pushback from people and they were like, well, my vet told me it's not contagious, or I have always read that it's not contagious. And I started to think, like, when did I come to the conclusion that this is contagious? And, I could be wrong about this. And normally, I'm telling you, normally when I put out a video, I do so much research. It's not an excuse, but my family was getting ready to go on vacation. I had a lot of stuff going on. And normally I would just research to make sure that I'm presenting all of the different opinions and all of the different facts. And I just didn't do that enough this time. I went by my own experience and my own memory of what I thought my vet had told me. So after this video went out, and I was getting this pushback, I messaged my vet and I was like, wait a minute, is Bumblefoot not contagious? And he was like, no, it's not contagious. And he gave me all the information about it. So there's that. Tipping things over. All that being said, I do want to say that the reason I have felt in especially the last 2 years, that Bumblefoot is contagious, this is my opinion, okay? It's not fact. But the reason I felt that is because I've seen so many instances of people who have good husbandry practices. Chickens are in decent condition. They're obviously taking good care of their chickens. And all of a sudden they have like 4 or 5 chickens that have Bumblefoot. And in my flock is included in that. So I had 4 chickens with Bumblefoot at the same time after never having it. We never had it before. And then all of a sudden we had it. Now, I think, a veterinarian would probably say, well, it's just the conditions that you have. And maybe that's it. I have to concede that maybe that's it. But I find it odd because in the literature, if you read it, it will say that the infection could be staph and that the staph could be infectious to humans. So we have to be careful when we're treating Bumblefoot. And so my thought is, okay, well, if it's infectious to humans, then how is it not infectious chicken to chicken? And I understand that there needs to be other factors present. There needs to be an injury to the foot, or there needs to be some kind of irritation to the foot. And that those can be environmental, factors, obviously. But I just can't deny that it's just strange that we're saying, okay, well, we need to be careful because we can get it from our chickens, but then we're saying our chickens can't get it from each other. And then, top that with all the times that I've seen multiple chickens in flocks all of a sudden have it. And it really takes on the appearance of like an outbreak. Now, all that being said, again, I'm not a veterinarian. So there's probably things that I don't know about these types of situations. So the other thing that I've really thought about a lot in these last couple days is that staph and other bacteria, they are ubiquitous. So what that means is that staph is everywhere. It's on my body right now. It's probably all over the chicken yard. It's in the chicken coop. So, is it futile to disinfect your roosts? I don't think it is. I think it's a good idea to do that. But what I said in the video and what I will say now is that there's nothing more important than, building the resilience of your chickens from the inside out. And so I think above all, whether Bumblefoot is contagious or not, that is really the most important thing, because it's always the chickens that are compromised in another way that are not going to be able to fight something like this. So, and I've seen that in my own flock. I've seen it in other flocks. It's just the chickens with the weaker immune systems that are going to end up with Bumblefoot, that are going to end up with mite infestations, that are going to end up with lice infestations or other kinds of illnesses. They're the ones that get it. So that ultimately is the most important thing, regardless of how the condition is taking hold. So all of this to just tell you ultimately that it is not fact that Bumblefoot is contagious, and that's how I presented it in the video. So I'm feeling like I need to correct that. Like I said, I just want to put the right information out there. That is really important to me. I mean, this is my livelihood. It's my passion to educate people about backyard chickens. And I want you to trust that the information I'm putting out there is the right information. That being said, I don't always agree with the mainstream consensus. When I think about my own experience and what I've seen as an educator, to me, it really appears that Bumblefoot is contagious. That's my opinion, and I should not have presented it that way as fact. I really want you to trust the information I put out, and that's why I wanted to put this video out today and get it out as soon as possible, even though I'm like at the water park. I was like, I've got to do this right now. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I will always seek to correct those mistakes if I can. But I want you to please know that I will always do my best to get the right information out there. And the other thing that I want you to know is that you are always welcome in Chickenlandia. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Oops. Dropping things.